Hello everyone, Calvatron here. Welcome to a video on Le Mans Ultimate. Today we're going to be driving the Lexus RCF GT3 around Monza. As we get into this one, we're going to be starting in P19. What a great start for me. I mean, I messed up both qualifying laps. It's not something you want to see, but I'm thinking that because we're in second split today, I think there's about 15 splits. Let's see what we can do. But as we come down here into turn one, we completely messed that up. We outjudge our braking zone. We take two wheels off the circuit. I mean, it's lucky that we survived that one without any damage. By going around that second corner now, I'm going from P19 to P20, so another position dropped. I think P21 was the final driver on this, so I mean, I'm pretty much dead last. And considering he's 3.4 seconds behind, I think he started in the pit. But now we're going to be heading down to Della Roggia. We're going to hit our braking zone just after the 150 board. Maybe when the tyres and the brakes are a bit warmer, we'll start to think about braking a bit later, but right at the beginning we just want to make sure we survive really. We're in P20, we aren't going to be winning this race, but we can make up some good places, so I just want to be careful really. But as we head round Ascari 1, we're just going to make sure that we're not making silly manoeuvres. I mean, here I could have dived down the inside of this guy, Colombo, in the Ferrari, which isn't the best car around here, as we'll see now. I think here I'm already going to make up 2 places, so I'm going to be back up to P18. So by the end of this lap, we might actually be back in P17 if we're lucky. We're going to work hard and finish where we started. But back here, we're going to nail our braking zone again, making sure just to leave a bit more space to brake, because it's the first lap, there's cars in front of us, they're all packed up tightly. And as I said, it's not the longest of races, but I don't want to be diving up the inside, making silly moves, having a crash, anything like that, because along with my safety rating, I do want to build my driver rating. So we're going to slam on the brakes going into Curva Parabolica, the last corner at Monza before the main straight, for the very long straight that we'll be braking at the 150 board. This Lexus has absolutely got the legs this week on this track. It's great. I mean, I was using the Lamborghini before. I don't know how Grazzi in first place is come to terms with it, but for me it really didn't work. And after my time in Bahrain with the Lamborghini, my last video in fact, I just made the switch over to the Lexus and I felt way more confident. But we brake well into Variante there, and we're just going to follow Corso in his McLaren all the way down to Della Roggia. We're maintaining a nice gap behind him, 0.2 seconds. We're going to start thinking about making a move. Are we going to make one here? I think this could turn into a move. Maybe not. Maybe not. But I think it's very important to show your nose. You know, make sure it's known that you're there. You want to be putting off the driver in front, making sure that they miss their braking zone, or their head's not in the game. As we make up, what's that? 3 positions here. So we're up to P15 now. Going around Lesmo 2. That's quite a good exit, I think. And I think you'll see this gap down to Corso drop a little bit, but then he's going to be 0.2, well 0.2 now. He was 0.3 behind Ronaldo Della in the Aston Martin. But as I said, maximise those braking zone, maximise those exits, and the results will come. And as we head round Ascari, there's another yellow flag. Who's binned it? I think that's a Ferrari driver. Is that Colombo? Maybe not. Either way, another place out, we're into P14. So we've made 0 on-track passes, or 0 net on-track passes, because we started P17, but we're up to P14, so it's looking good for us. I think P10 and we start actually gaining driver rating, given that this is split 2. So I'm not in split 1 yet. I am in the hypercars. I'm normally in split 1 just because there's less drivers. But that lap we're going to pump in a 152.9. My best time around here in qualifying, when I actually can put a lap together, is about a 150.5, 0.6. So that's on low fuel. Obviously we've got about half a tank now. We're also checking our virtual energy, because that seems to drop a bit more than the actual fuel. Obviously the GT3s don't have the onboard battery ability that the hypercars get. So we want to make sure that we have enough fuel. I always like to put a bit more fuel in the tank than I need, because you know the last thing you want is a disqualification or having to pit. That's happened to me a few times and I'm not going to make that mistake again. But as we're on lap 3 here, we're heading into Lesmo 1. Corso and Della, they're fighting. Look at him. And we're just going to make sure that we maximise our braking zone, maximising our exit speeds, and we're just going to capitalise on this basically. And Della, we have the run on him now. We're getting alongside as we head underneath this tunnel where old Monza is. And we're going to make the move into Ascari. Are we? He allows it. I'm on the outside. Normally, when I'm in the inside there, I just brake 10 metres later, 5-10 metres later, and that just causes the person next to me to back off. But they gave me all the space there. But I do think, yep, we gained our first track limits penalty, which isn't great. But we've got some room to play with, and we didn't want to give Della that slipstream to then be able to overtake us on the straight. You know, as I said, we want to make moves up. I think I've got the pace around here. After an hour or two of lapping, doing races, I'm confident in this Lexus on this track. So we're going to be heading down to the braking zone at Variante on lap 4 here. We're going to make sure that we're hitting our braking zone very well, and I think we did there. The gap came down to 0.2 seconds. It's going to go up a bit now, but look at this delta, half a second gained already. I'm only on lap 4, so it's looking good. If I can put in a purple sector time, I'm going to be happy with that. But now we're going to be heading down to our braking zone, turn 4 and 5, Della Roggia. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to keep up this delta. That's what I want to be doing. We've got a bit of free air here, kind of. Corso's 0.6 seconds away. It's enough time where I can maximise, my references, my braking points, and really get some good exits. And as we look even ahead of Corso, Mente and Zion Dillinger, whatever their names are, they're fighting now. So that gives us the possibility. Right now I'm thinking, P10 is inside. That's 3 positions. So now I'm going to have to just maximise my pace, keep that confidence up, and pump in some good lap times. And right now we're 1.5 seconds. Going up 1.6 seconds. It's going to be 1.7 seconds by the time we leave Ascari. I'm not sure. But again, it's all about maximising those exits around Monza basically, because there's very long straights. I mean, this back straight is very long. Goes down to curve the Parabolica. The main straight, even longer. Then we get Curva Grande, turn 3. That's basically a straight. You don't have to lift or anything like that. But I say all of that. And then this last corner, I don't get the best exit. But I am in the slipstream. And it's looking like a double slipstream because Corso, who's now got ahead of Zion Dillinger, is pulling Zion Dillinger along. Zion Dillinger's pulling me along with double the effect. And look at this. The pure lace of the Pexus. Pure lace of the Pexus. What is that? Pure pace of the Lexus. Showing off there as we get a clean move on Zion Dillinger down the outside again. He could have easily just thrown it up the inside. If he hit his braking marker correct and got on that stopping pedal properly, there's no reason why he couldn't have kept up with me there. But I think fate is on our side this race. And we put in a purple sector there. We put in a purple sector, sector 1 at lap 5. And we're going purple. So out of anyone, obviously, that's what it means, we're the fastest in this race. And that's given me some confidence now. I'm thinking, I'm quick around here, especially in this split. I mean, in top split, another story. But I want to just make sure that I'm getting good exits. I'm utilising the speed of this Lexus to go quickly, basically. That's what I want to be doing. I mean, that's what everyone wants to be doing if they win the race. But again here, I'm making myself known in the mirrors to Corso. I had no intention of making a move down there. I don't think anyone would. I mean, a half a second back, which is miles away in a GT3 car. But I want him to see him in his mirrors. And if I'm, bugging out behind him, that's going to be good because he's going to look in his mirror. He's going to miss his braking zone, maybe. But here we're going to brake alongside that black Marshall board. And we're going to get a much better exit than we did last lap. I mean, look at this. We're gaining hundredths, turning into tenths. And as we come around on lap 6, we put in a 150.9 with Shihir Tarov in P14, putting a 150.5 with 78% fuel. And again here, look at Corso. We've sniffed up the inside. It's known. He knows that we want to overtake him. He knows. But as we come round to Curva Grande, what's going to happen now? We've got 10 minutes left. We're up 5 places in 10 minutes. So another 5 places in 10 minutes will be P7. That's going to be a good result for me, starting in P17 and at one point being P20. So even with this result here, I'm going to be happy with it regardless. I've driven a good race so far, and it's just about keeping that up now. Saying that, we're on lap 6 with 5/10 down from last lap. So some work to be done there. I think we didn't have a very good turn 1, that led to not a very good turn 2, 3, and it's led to now. But as we see here, we gain a solid 5/100ths off that corner. And as we come down, what's this? Del Saraglio. We want to hit our braking zone, going into Variante, going into Ascari. Are we going to do so? Yes, we are. Look at that, a 10th gained. 0.3 behind Corso now. We're on his tail. We're up his chuff. We want this. We want this move. We're sniffing it out. I can smell his exhaust fumes in my Lexus luxury LCF GT3 cockpit. I can smell it. It's nearly there. And again, we're going to hit our braking zone. And look at that delta going down. We're nearly positive after being, down 5/10 this lap. I don't know, granted, haven't had the best exit. That's fine. That's completely fine. But we're going to come down the back straight here now. Pass the start-finish line onto lap 7. We're immediately, down a bit on time because our best lap was in a slipstream. But we're going to just smash our braking zone here right after the 150 board. And this fighting between Corso and Mente is just going to allow me to just go right up behind them. And now I can smell P9, or P10, sorry. P9 is to come, but P10. Mento's in that Lamborghini, and as I said, I just couldn't come to grips with it, that mid-engined rear-wheel drive Lamborghini. I think it's just difficult on the brakes really, because you've got the engine in the front in the Lexus, that big, what was it, 6 litre or something like that, massive engine, massive V8 powering this car. Got that in the front that just allows, when you stamp on that brake pedal, all that weight is going over your front wheels. So that gives me the confidence that I need. But I lost my train of thought there because we got Zion Dingler and Kopp. I think we just made up another place there. As Corso and Mentes are battling it out down Del Saraglio. And is one of them going to make a move into the other one, going into the Ascari chicane? They are. They're going side by side. Oh, and there's a bit of contact with Mente. He's gone off. He's been hit. He's going to be pissed off now. And we've got Shihatarov, 0.2 behind us, the guy who started off with 100% fuel. That's absolutely insane, I think. I think he's paced this race. I think he was sandbagging or putting that fuel in as a form of ballast. And he makes a move up. He makes a move up the inside of the Curva Parabolica. And we're going to lose a place to him. Shihatarov, the man in the Lamborghini who's just overtaken us round the last corner on lap 7. Although he's overtaken us, we are in his slipstream. And look at that, he's gapped by 2.1 seconds, which is quick. But in this slipstream, he's going to move out to the inside. We're going to go around the outside. This has worked for us so far. The outside move has worked for us, but Shihatarov smashes his braking zone. Fair play to him. Fair play to him there. And as we come out here, round Curva Grande, he's now 0.6 ahead of us. And Corso is 1.2 ahead of us. But I think the important thing to think here, and the thing that was going through my mind at this point in the race, is not to just settle into it now, But a new challenger is approaching in the form of Mente, and look at him. He's annoyed. He's driving with pure fury. But we're going to stick it around the outside here. I'm thinking, I'm not going to just give you this place because I know I'm faster than you. I know I was catching up to you. And he's going to try and throw out the inside of Ascari 1. But what's he doing? What's he doing? I think we should cut to a replay of that. So we've got me coming around Curva Grande with Mente, and he's thinking he's going to sniff up the inside. As we can see here, he just throws out the inside, completely misjudges his braking zone, and look at that. Look at that net code. You'd never get anything like that on iRacing. Absolutely amazing racing. And I'm going to just kind of squeeze him up the inside. I don't want to give him the space, but he outbrakes himself. We're going to slow motion here just to show it, but he outbrakes himself. I'm sure I could have done something to stop that as well, but it's just difficult. It's difficult because he was obviously annoyed that Corso hit him, and he threw her up the inside there just without you know, without due care and attention, he would have failed his theory test and his driving test there, to be fair, having a crash. But he's giving me front wing damage now, which is great. A little bit of front downforce lost, and as we can see here, I'm immediately a bit less confident going into the Ascari chicane. My wheel's wobbling. I don't have that front downforce that is just gluing my car to the ground, and that's ultimately going to result in some lap time being lost. But Mente's now 8.6 behind, so you know, him driving into me like that, he's lost 8.6 seconds. He's probably flat spotted his tyres as well, which is difficult in these GT3s because obviously they've got ABS. But when you have a spin like that, I've found in this game that you do get flat spots, and they're so, I don't know if it's because I'm on this direct drive wheel on now or what, but they're so exaggerated that it's difficult to drive around it. But yeah, we're going to come into lap 9 now. That was a really good braking zone from me, I can't lie. As we go into Variante and now to Curva Grande on lap 9, obviously that braking zone was good, but the exit wasn't as good. We're a 10th down, but more importantly, we're gaining on Corso and Shiratarov, which is what we want. As I said earlier, I could sniff P9, and Corso's now in P9, which I think I can have. But again, just focus on hitting those braking points, because ultimately that's how I'm going to catch up. I need the exit speed, especially in this Lexus. I have to make the most of the exit speed because no other car around here is as fast as the Lexus down these long straights and these sweeping corners. So right now I'm thinking we've got 3 more racing laps. Let's make the most of it. You know, as bad as it is, I'm always hoping someone ahead crashes off so I can get free position, something like that. Or even if these 2 drivers ahead slow down. I love the battle in Le Mans Ultimate. I really feel like I can fight these other drivers. You know, I've said it in other videos if you've seen them, but in iRacing it's just the netcode. I mean, you can get a little bit close to the drivers, but if there's any form of difference in latency or whatever the cause is, that netcode is just going to punt you off and completely ruin your race. And on top of that, the damage model, whilst it's definitely more realistic than the Mon Ultimate, and I think it's reduced in here, which is I personally like that, because I don't want my race ruined and my steering rack bent, and you know, I'm losing tenths every corner because I've been hit by some idiot who's not paying attention. Just the awesome netcode in this game that you would have seen in that replay earlier. I mean, I was inches away from the back of that Lambo, and we talk about being inches away from the Lambo. This McLaren wanted to get inches in the Lambo because they've just made contact as Corso overtakes Shiraherov here. We're going around Curva Grande, and is Shiraherov going to make this same move that Mente did, where he just gets annoyed? Boiling point is reached and he throws up the inside. No, he's not, because he's actually a very quick and level-headed driver. I've got to give it to him. He just blew past me, and now he's being caught up by Corso, but I think he's got this pace, and I think if he started in pole he might have won this one. By going around Lesmo 1, I'm now in slipstream of Shiratarov, and you can kind of see the difference between the Lexus and the Lamborghini around here. You can see that the Lamborghini is very agile around these corners, these medium speed corners, whereas the Lexus is a bit more of a boat, but once it starts going, it can't be matched. It's faster than the BMW around here. I think it's faster than the Mustang in a straight line. But it's also pronounced around here around the Ascari chicane, as I make another misjudged corner. Whether that's because of Corso or Shiratarov, I'm unsure, but I thought, you know, given there's a lap and a half left, I want to be in this battle between Corso and Shiratarov. I want to be in the slipstream, so I'm going to sacrifice that 0.25 that I took, that little bump in my safety rating, just to ensure that I'm in this fight, because it's just addicting in this game. As I said, it's for me my favourite sim by far, and this, I'm recording this after 1.0's come out, but this was right before 1.0's come out, and it's actually updating as I record this. So I've heard that the GT3s have had a big change, or kind of reversion to what they used to be, where the grip fall off is less pronounced now, because that was a big issue. that was a big issue. It kind of changed to the iRacing tyre model, and the iRacing tyre model changed to the LMU tyre model, which I also haven't tried out. But we're going to hit our braking zone there into Della Roggia, and we're going to be up on our time. Now we're going to be back down again, but we're on pace with our fastest lap, which was about 4/10, which is an eternity off of Shirataro's fastest lap. But as we go, this is going to be the last lap, I think, or the penultimate lap, because Alexandre's in first place. I don't think he's past the finish line now, 14 seconds ahead. He's still got a bit of time left. But like I said earlier, we're not going to just settle into this. We're going to make sure that we're hitting our braking zones. You know, we don't want to make any mistakes, because we want to be on the back. We want to be on the back side, the arse of Corso and Shirataro. We want to be making sure that if they make any form of mistake, we're going to be in there like swimwear, because we want to make up to P9. We want these places. We're thirsty for it. We're confident in this Lexus, in this luxury Lexus motor vehicle. As we come around the final corner here, we briefly were 2/10 up on our time, but we're going to drop that back down. But I do think we're coming back around here for our fastest lap, and that's the race. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been fun.